G'day guys, welcome back to Supercoach with DR and welcome to my first team reveal for the upcoming BBL Supercoach season. We're only 18 days away from game one, so really pumped to get into this. To be quite honest, I haven't been focusing too much on the BBL side of Supercoach. I've been right into NBL Supercoach, and speaking about that, if you are a fan of the game, I'll be sitting down with Vern from Vern Supercoach. He is a fantastic bloke, been producing some ripping NBL content. We'll be doing a mid-season NBL Supercoach review. So, as I said, if you are interested, make sure that you tune in for that next week. And speaking about legends, getting back to BBL Supercoach, because that's what you're here for, Spills and I are really excited to be sitting down with an absolute legend from the BBL Supercoach community, Nathan Scoble, aka Scobie Bryant, if you follow him on Twitter. An absolute wealth of knowledge when it comes to cricket. He's had some really high finishes in the game. He's the man that you want to speak to if you want to know anything about the game. So we'll be going into strategy, fixture, relevant players, pods, those must-haves, anything that you want to know about the game, we'll be going through on Tuesday night, so make sure that you do tune into that. But look, personally, when it comes to BBL Supercoach, I wouldn't consider myself to be an expert at the game. Last year was the first year that I took the game really seriously, finished just outside, agonisingly short of a top 1k finish, but did learn a lot of lessons, particularly when it comes to selecting your opening side, fixture, player availability is absolutely key when selecting your opening side. So when I go through players and I'm getting into the side, I don't actually know if they will be 100% available for round one. So you do need to certainly have some backup plans. But as we get close to the season, hopefully we'll have a better idea about who we can and who we can't maybe select in our side. So let's get right into it, guys, and let's select our first team for BBL Supercoach. Now, as I mentioned, one of the big lessons I took out of last year was taking the fixture into account, not just the first week, but let's just say the opening 3 to 4 weeks. Now, we can see here that the Brisbane Heat have a crazy opening fixture, a triple game week. 3 games in the 1 week. We then have 4 teams that have a double game week here, that being the Stars, Renegades, Sixers, as well as the Scorchers. 3 teams in round 1 just have a single game week, the Hurricanes, Thunder, and the Strikers. If we then look to round 2, the Stars unfortunately go to a bye, but I've got a bit of strategy when it comes to that, which I'll talk about in a sec. And all of a sudden, the Strikers go from single game to double game in round 2. Someone like a Matt Short is going to be an absolute must-have. We then look to round 3, though. The Strikers now on a bye, as well as the Brisbane Heat. And then we have the Stars coming off a bye onto a double game week. And the Renegades also have a double game week. So players from those sides are going to feature pretty prominently in my side. And again, when it comes to availability, I'm not quite sure. But just wanted to give you a little bit of context when it comes to the players that I'm actually selecting here. So let's get into it. Now, I will make this pretty quick because all the discussion will be on Tuesday night. But to start off with, first wicketkeeper spot is going to Quinton de Kock. Now, availability, I'm not 100% sure on, but I think he should be right to go. But again, don't quote that. We'll have to see. But his opening schedule is fantastic. In the first 3 weeks, he'll play 5 games, so double, single, and a double. World Cup form has been okay, some really nice tons, as well as some failures. But due to his ceiling, opening schedule, I think will be a really solid selection. So paying up for Quinton de Kock to start off with. On the bench for now, I'm going with a bloke. And look, if you talk about price for potential, I think this is going to be a terrific selection. It's Benny McDermott. Now, his opening schedule, as I said, doesn't have any double game rounds, but no buys. So his job for me will simply be to make money and come on just when needed. But really like the value of McDermott there. So Quinton de Kock and Benny McDermott as my 2 wicket keepers. Now, when it comes to the batsmen, I don't like to spend up too much here. So I'm going down to Aaron Hardy. Always looks to get some DPPs in my batting lineup. And this bloke is one of my favourite players in the comp. So we'll bat, we'll bowl as well. We always like those DPP players that have different ways to score. And as I said, just love watching this bloke. A bit of a brute of a man. And when he gets going, that strike rate is absolutely phenomenal. So we're up to have Aaron Hardy in my side. Close to a lock for me at this stage. Maybe a little bit biased there, but just love Aaron Hardy. Now, you're probably thinking at the moment, DR, what are you doing? You've got no Brisbane Heat players, and they are on a triple. Now, I'm going to start to get a little bit of heat in my side. If you look here, you've got Colin Munro, certainly in consideration, but availability, I'm not too sure on at the moment, so I'm going to skip him for now. Renshaw is another player I'm a huge fan of, but I'm pretty sure he'll be involved in the Prime Minister's 11, which rules him out of the first 2 games, so no good there. Nathan McSweeney, though, is a man I'm very interested in and may even be my captain come round 1. So although he's only available as a batsman there, he will put in some overs with the ball as well. So has been playing as an all-rounder. I think it's been for South Australia and performing well with the bat and with the ball as well. So he should be batting at the top of the order here for the Heat. A bit of a no-brainer selection for me at this stage. Now, we don't know about availability for other players, but for now, I'm a big fan of him. The next bloke I'm going to bring in is another Heat player. He's got a DPP, not with the ball though, but a wicketkeeper batsman, and that is Sam Billings. So I think at the price there, again, he's going to be batting at the top of the order. All I want is a really nice score from one of these 3 games, or a couple of half-decent ones, all good as well, but I'm just banking on that one big score to make it worth it. And if you look at the price, I don't think it's going to be a huge gamble as well. Can be swapping here with McDermott and De Kock as well, so pretty happy to have Billings in there for now. Not an absolute lock, though, at this stage. This bloke, though, is an absolute lock, and you're pretty crazy if you don't have him in your current side. Where is he? Where's the great man? It's Glennie Maxwell. Now, this man is the reason that I support the Melbourne Stars, and after his performance in the World Cup, come on, there is no way that you cannot select this bloke. Now, we know that he does have a bye come round 2, so double bye, but then another double. So for me this year, I'm actually going to start with a loophole. I'm not going there. I know that Glenn Maxwell won't be available for round 2. I'm simply going to use him as my loop. That's my plan anyway. So I wouldn't be too scared off by starting Glenn Maxwell because he's got the round 2 bye. I think there's certainly ways around it. So a bit of a no-brainer selection for me is Glenn Maxwell. And the next bloke I've got here is actually another wicketkeeper, and it's Josh Philippe. So again, price for potential. He's got the double in the opening round. I'm just looking again for hopefully one big game from him. 2 would be even better. 2 failures wouldn't be nice, but that's a risk that you take here. But again, if you look at his price here, similar to someone like a McDermott, we know what these blokes have produced in the past as well. So I'm happy to have Philippe there for now and close to being locked into my side. And then on the bench, I'm going with a bloke that has been extremely disappointing for the last couple of seasons, and it's Darcy Short. But a bit of a method to the madness here is preparing for round 2. Now, we know that the strikers are the only side that have the double, so I think it's pretty imperative to plan for that and have a couple of strikers in your side. Now, I'm not expecting huge things from this bloke. Who knows what he's going to do, but I think it's still handy to select him at that low price, knowing that he's got a double in round 2, the only team that will. So, again, not expecting hundreds from him, but we know he's got potential. This may be a little bit more hope, but I think it'd be a pretty popular selection at the price there. And the other bloke I'm going here, believe it or not, is another wicketkeeper, and it's Sam Whiteman. So he should be getting games with Inglis out of the side. Again, a bit of a money-making option here. Not expecting huge things, but at the price, 62,500, I'm able to swing him when I need to. So 4 wicketkeepers all up. That's De Kock, McDermott, Whiteman, and Philippe. But all those players, apart from McDermott, do have the double. Not that I'll really need that from a Whiteman type. But yeah, for the batsman, I'm not spending up a lot there. Certainly other players that could come into consideration. But for now, it's Hardy, McSweeney, Billings, Maxwell, and Philippe. Triples there and doubles on field. Short in preparation for next week. And Whiteman, as that real value type option there, should be getting games early. And now we go into the bowlers. Now, I'm finding this really tricky at the moment. Now, a bloke that I'm going to select here, just for now, I'm very worried about his availability. But if he is available by some sort of miracle, then he is the number 1 player that you should be selecting in your side, and that's Michael Neser. So his form lately has been phenomenal, particularly with the bat. Super impressive. If he's available, he's an automatic captain. You don't even think about that. But I'm very worried about his availability. But just for now, and I will make a change in a minute, assuming he's not available, but assuming he is, just for now, I'm locking him into the side. Now, this is where it starts to get a little bit tricky for me. The bloke here, Sean Abbott, I'm a big fan of. Now, assuming that Neser is available, I like the pairing with Abbott. Now, they've got the double come round one. Again, availability, I think that he should be right. Not 100% sure on that. But the thing with Abbott, you got consistency, you got history. If you think about AFL, for example, you look at, those Pendles type that just year upon year seem to perform. And Sean Abbott is one of those blokes in BBL. So, for now, like having him on my side, just a really consistent option. They don't come up to a buy for a little while, so double in round one, then you can just leave him on your side, or else you can upgrade him to a player on the double if you like. So for now, Sean Abbott is in the side. Now the next bloke here, again, really like his fixture. It is Adam Zampa, so been in terrific form as well. And again, if you similar to a De Kock, if you look at their fixture, double, single, and double as well. So the type of bloke that can get you 3 wickets in a game, get that wicket bonus as well. Economy rate, he can take control of that. And don't get me wrong, any bowler can get smashed for an over or two a game. These things happen. But I'm a big fan of Zampa because he does have that nice schedule. Had nice history of scoring as well. Not absolutely elite and through the roof type stuff. But for that price, I'm pretty happy to pay. You probably can't see that, so I'll go down a little bit there. So 131,900, pretty happy at the moment. The next bloke here, again, is going to be another Stars player, and it's Marcus Stoinis. Now, I'm hoping that he'll get the ball in his hands a little bit more this season. We know what he can do with the bat, can absolutely dominate, and again, he's going to be that bloke that I'll use as a loophole come round two and try to get the best score out of a couple of players that have that single. So, a bit of a method behind the madness there. I'm not worried about starting Stoinis or Maxwell because I think for the price and again potential, ability to use them as a loophole and then have another double game week, I think that's just good strategy for me. So Stoinis is the next bloke there. And then I am going for a little bit of heat here. I'm going all the way down. Where is he here? 70 odd K. Mitchell Swepson. Cheap option. I've got to have a bit more heat in the side, I think. So at the moment, I've only got the 3-4, but that's assuming Nisa plays, which I'm not confident on. So 4 heat plays for now. Swepson, again, I'm not expecting wonderful things from him. A little bit dicey, but it does give me the money to be able to select a gun who I think he's an absolute must-have in your starting side, but I'm actually going to put him on the bench. And that is my man, Rashid Khan. Now, 132k to start off on a single. I understand that, but remember, this bloke will have the double come round two, and I think you've just got to have him. His price is phenomenal. Look at what we had to pay for him last year and the year before that. Super consistent. He's the bloke that you go to when you need to take a wicket, when you need to slow down their strike rate. Great economy rate, usually when it comes to BBL Supercoach as well, Khan. So here's an absolute no-brainer to start for me. And the last bloke that we're going to go with for now is an old fella. He's an old workhorse. Don't know if he's going to actually be getting games, but let's just assume that he does, is Peter Siddle. And again, he's a Renegades player with that fixture. So I'm just going to save the team for now. Can I save my team? And we'll see how we're looking. So what have we got in the bank? About 37k. So we'll go through this, and then we're actually going to make a couple of changes because, as I said, I'm a little bit worried about some availability with a couple of these blokes. So we'll just start on field. So we've got De Kock, Hardy, McSweeney. So double, triple with Billings, double with Philippi. McDermott, just that safe money-making option. Short will hopefully come on potentially the week after for his double. Whiteman, again, is that DPP and value option. Should play early without Inglis in the side. Abbott's here, just consistency, history, elite scoring. You've got Nisa there, who's an absolute no-brainer, as I said, if he starts. Zampa really like his fixture. Stoinis could be anything. Could be an absolute dud, who knows, but again, plans to use him as a loop to get the best score the next week. Swepson, not too sure on, but again, he's got that triple game. Rashid will come on the next week, and then Siddle also has a really nice fixture there. But I am a little bit unsure about my man, Michael Nisa, and one thing we've really got to take into account is being able to flip someone to Matt Short for round two. He's an absolute must-have. For me, the best selection in the game with the highest potential. So, and Nathan Scoble, I know, is the absolute president of the Matt Short fan club. So he'll have I'm going to question him a bit about Shorty when he comes on Tuesday night. But I'm not a fan of actually starting him. I think it's a bit too much money to have just as that single to start off with, but may come into consideration. Who knows? But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get rid of Nisa and Sean Abbott as well, because at this stage, I'm going to have a bit of a dabble at another absolute gun. Go away, Abbott. There we go. And that is this man, Jai Richardson. Now, what do I like about Richardson? I like his price, because what I can then do is simply trade him next week with the amount of money that I will have after making this move to Matt Short. It's an easy straight swap. You don't need to worry about downgrading another player to make that extra 10, 20k, depending on how much you've got in the bank. I really like that about Jai Richardson. Now, durability is always a concern with Richardson, but for me, as I just mentioned, he's just going to start for me for the first week, and then I'm going to get rid of him straight away if I do go with him to a Matt Short. So durability for me won't really be a concern. The only slight concern I do have is, will he actually play both games in round one? Will Cricket Australia say, no, we don't want you working him too hard just in case we need his services? That's a slight concern, but assuming he's ready to go, and he is fit at the moment, but assuming he is very likely to play both of those games, this is a move that I make, and all of a sudden, I don't have enough money for Sean Abbott. So the bloke that I'll probably look to go with, and again, under a bit of an injury cloud at the moment, and form hasn't been terrific, but again, he's got a lot of potential. He's an absolute gun when he's on, and that is Tommy Curran. So that's probably the move that I would make, and more likely this is the way that I would start, because I just can't see Nisa being available in his current form. He's just been playing too well. So that is most likely the way that we will go, given the fact that Nisa's now been out of the side. Now, I'm not really wrapped here, so this is certainly a couple of moving pieces. Get away. A couple of moving pieces here with Curran and Richardson. Not really sure what I'll do there, but De Kock's pretty much locked in, as is McDermott. Short and Whiteman, really happy with. Someone like a Maxi, absolutely locked in at this stage, as well as these two blokes, very keen on there. Something could happen with a Billings and a Philippi, possibly. Zampa I really like due to his schedule as well. Stoinis, again, not an absolute lock. Same as Sweption. Khan, absolutely starts me round one. It's going to be so easy just to put him on for round two as well. And then Siddle, again, 5 games in the opening 3 rounds. Pretty hard to pass if he is actually selected and if he's likely to get overs. So that is the team for now, guys. Let me know what you think. All criticism accepted here. Hit me hard if I've made a huge blunder here or an error. If I haven't selected an absolute must-have in your eyes, please let me know. But that is it for my team reveal. As I've mentioned a few times now, I'm just so pumped about it. Tuesday night, potty with Nathan Scoble and my man Spiel. So stay tuned for that. But that is it for now, guys. Hope that you're all well, and I will see you very, very soon for our opening BBL potty of the year. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye.